Thank you everyone for joining us today at the Rally for Freedom. Thank you for your patience as we get started. Across the state, community organizations, faith leaders, and directly impacted New Yorkers are celebrating the passing of historic pretrial reforms ahead of the January implementation. Today is a very special day to be celebrating these reforms because today is Human Rights Day. In 1948, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This international agreement states that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Today, we are celebrating one small step towards ensuring human rights to people all across New York State, with a dramatic reduction in pretrial detention across the state by eliminating cash bail and the possibility of pretrial detention for most misdemeanor and nonviolent felony charges. New York's current bail system fuels mass incarceration, violates constitutional rights, and wastes millions in taxpayer dollars being spent on pretrial detention. It also undermines the most basic protection of our legal system, the presumption of innocence. Rather than afforded due process, tens of thousands of New Yorkers each year are treated as guilty until proven innocent. And the racial disparities in the pretrial sentencing cannot be ignored, with Black pretrial detainees twice as likely as white pretrial detainees to spend at least one night in custody on bail. According to a report by the Vera Institute of Justice in Ulster County, 58% of the average daily jail populations are being held pre-trial. At the same time, in Ulster County, for-profit corporations are making hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit on commissary and phone calls for those being held in those jails. Between 2010 and 2014, over 2,000 of the people held pre-trial spent a week or more in Ulster County Jail without being convicted of a crime. Hundreds of these people are accused of simple violations, and may I remind you that a violation is not actually a crime. What would happen to your life if suddenly you were pulled away for a week? It seems like a game of Monopoly. You can sit and wait and roll the dice to see if you're able to get out, but if you're able to pay the money, you'll get out faster. But this isn't a game, this is real life, and it's happening to our neighbors right here in Ulster County and across the state, and it's got much more of an impact than missing a few turns of a game. Locked away on little more than an accusation, our loved ones and neighbors lose their jobs, their homes, and sometimes custody of their children. Because money bail ties liberty to wealth, low-income people or those who cannot afford bail are criminalized and languished in jail pre-trial. Poverty should not be a reason to keep people in cages. Today you will hear about the effects that bail has had on our community and why we are celebrating these pre-trial reforms.